Welcome to the Berks County Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I am here with Billy Yuhas.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, you have an incredible music history here in Berks County. How did you get started playing music?
Well, when I was about 8 years old, I started playing the guitar. I lived in the coal regions,
Okay.
and that's when I started. I was 8 years old. But before that, I used to play the harmonica. And when I was 4 years old, I'd walk around the house playing a little plastic harmonica. And I was getting tunes out of it, and people would come to my house, and they asked my mom, "You giving that kid music lessons?" She said, "No, I don't know how he does it." So that's how I got started. It's in you, It's in you. That's what it is. That's all I heard is music all the time, And the other kids that would be out playing on a nice day, I would listen to the radio. I was right up against one of them floor radios from the 40s, and I had my ear right against it. That's how I learned the songs, Yeah.
Neat. So you really, from what I understand, in the late 50s, you really were a big piece here of the Berks County music scene, and you were involved with a record label company, and you played with a lot of the local guys here. Can you tell us a little bit more about that history?
Yeah, I played with the Royal Dukes.
Okay.
We started off in Sonny Muccio's basement.
Okay.
That's where we used to practice there. And that's how I met Grover Barber. Sonny Muccio's father, Dominic, he brought Grover Barber over one day. He knew Grover, and Grover came down the basement to hear us. So that's how I got to know him. And I think he worked for Grover one time as a presser or something like that, in the cleaners. He had a cleaning establishment, Grover did, on Schuylkill Avenue, That's how I met him.
Okay.
And then we had Billy Bowers. You know Billy Bowers?
Sure.
He played with me, and Stan Watinsky, and, Sonny Muccio, Wilson Bohannic. He was a guitar player, too.
And you played guitar. That was your main instrument?
Yeah, that was my main instrument. Yeah.
You also played with the Pretenders.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
I played guitar and sang with them. Back then, did you ever heard of the Flamingos? Well, our group was like that. I played the guitar and I sang. And the rest of the guys just stood there, It was a doo-wop group, but I played the guitar and sang. That's how I worked it out, And I had to be there. They didn't have the key. Yeah.
When Sam came in, he told us a little bit about Reading in the 50s, and he said that people singing doo-wop on the corner was kind of a thing. Were you involved in that?
Yeah. I can remember sitting out on a doorstep on Schuylkill Avenue, and me and two black guys and another white guy, we're singing out there. And the cars are going by and are beep, 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 all right. They're going like that, Yeah, that's where we used to do that.
The B Studios was on Schuylkill Avenue, is that correct?
Yeah, in the cleaning establishment.
Okay.
He didn't do any recording in there, but we practiced there, and it was a headquarters, Grover was always there listening, and all the groups came in there. I can remember singing up on the second floor, and we throw the window up, and this is in the summertime, and we'd be singing and drinking some beer, and when we go to leave, people would be sitting on the porches out there. I thought, oh my God, now we're going to hear it. We're going to catch that, And we went up, we were so quiet, we said, "We're sorry, we didn't mean to keep you awake." He says, "Why do you think we're here?" "We come to listen to you."
Neat.
They were all out up the whole street listening to us.
How about that?
Yeah, I thought that was nice,
So did you record any of your music?
Yeah, I was on 8 records and 3 albums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you're a bit of a collector of music history, but also
Yeah.
is it really just local history that you have?
No, I got a lot of other stuff
Mm-hmm.
too. I got like the first Sun label record, the first record that they made, 180.
Interesting.
A lot of people would die for that record, you know. That's worth about 6,000, I guess.
Oh.
And I got some other good ones, you know.
What's your most valued local item that you own?
Well, I got a couple. The records I was on, they're all worth pretty much money, you know. The Invictors, and I sang with them. We had a guy with the Invictors, and Grover, he renamed the group the Termites.
Mm.
But the Termites and the Invictors, it's the same group.
Same group.
But the Termites, the one guy, he had to go to school, so he couldn't sing on that record. That's a difference, only difference in that record. But that Termite one, I go nuts over that. I don't know why, but we weren't that good, you know. But they're always after that one, I'm telling you. I had guys call me from out of state, you know.
Interesting.
Do you have a record by the Termites? Yeah, I do. You want to sell it? No.
Uh-huh.
They all want to buy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
One guy said, I'll give you $250 for it. I said, no. He calls me back again. I'll give you $400 for it. They're fishing, you know.
I'm in my 30s, and so I grew up here in Berks County in the 80s. And so I don't really have any memory of Berks County, of people singing on the street corners and
it was a different time.
Yeah, and people going to dances and things like that. Can you just, do you have any good memories from that time that you want to share?
Oh, yeah. You know where Queen City is on Lancaster Avenue?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they used to hold a dance on the same side of the street, right up the street, about a quarter block up. I don't know what's there now, maybe a gas station or something. A gas station, And one time we were in there, I was 15 years old, and once a year they bring a star in. And they brought Lou Christie in, you know. You ever hear of Lou Christie? Well, he was a big star back then. I thought that was pretty neat, you know, because I was only a kid, 15 years old. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Do you remember any other venues in Reading and Berks that you might have seen different groups or played at yourself?
In St. Mary's Hall.
Where was that?
11th and Marion or
Is
something.
that is that where St. Mary's Church is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a hall there. And we did a show in there one time. It was a big show, you know. Back then, I don't know how they did it. They got these major stars there. It would be like bringing in a Bruce Springsteen. You know what I mean? And here's a church hall, you know. And he brought a whole pile of them came, you know. The Shirelles, the Chantels, Freddie Cannon, Little Anthony, and the Imperials, they called up a B Records. They needed a backup band. So, and we came.
Oh, neat.
That's how we got to meet them all, you know.
That's great.
And they had Arlene Smith. She sang the song Maybe. You probably never heard it. It was a killer song. You know, when she sang that song, you could have heard a pin drop in the whole hall. And I was standing right behind her. I could have had all my clothes off. They wouldn't notice me. Nobody would have noticed me. But they were looking at her. Boy, she was good, you know. She had a churchy voice, a black singer, you know. And now she's in a wheelchair, I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was a pretty big show, that one. They had a guy named Tender Slim. He was a black guy. He was straight up and down, about 6'3", and he was really skinny. And he had a record called Teenage Hayride. And it was on Bandstand and everything, you know. It was a number 8 in the nation, I think. and he did a good act. He had a lot of good moves, you know, on the stage. He brought the house down, you know. Yeah. And also they had the Quintones there. It was a black girl group. They sang, let me think, Down the Aisle of Love. I can remember pretty good. See?
Yeah, you have a great memory.
Yeah. I was known for my good memory, but I lost a lot of it when I had my stroke, you know. They sang Down the Aisle of Love. It was such a good song, a slow song. But they creamed it. It was so good, you know. And I liked them about the best at it. All the acts there, they were so good, you know. But the Shirelles came out all dressed in red, and the lead singer, I couldn't help but looking at her. I was standing right behind her, and she caught me looking at her. Then she come over. Then, you know. Yeah, she was nice, you know, nice looking. Well, we all were that back then, you know. I had my tuxedo on, you know.
Sure. Do you remember any other venues from Reading and Berks that were big spots, hot spots?
Yeah. We backed Johnny Maestro. We backed him up.
Oh.
He was at a River Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and but he was with a Brooklyn Bridge at that time, and he died too. He had a heart attack or something, you know. But he was good right up to the end, you know. He could still sing good. He was one of my favorites too. I don't know. Can't think of anybody else offhand. Oh, Freddie Cannon. We backed him up. He was at that show. He had a song called Tallahassee Lassie. Good song. They played it on bandstand every day, you know, every stinking day. Yeah.
So you put together some information about
the
B Studios.
Yeah.
This is something that was published? Or?
Yeah. Well, I just wrote down, Grover died in 1974 at the age of 61. He was pretty young. I think he had a lung problem from the cleaning fluid. When he used that, you couldn't be in the room. It was that bad. So I think that's what did his lungs in, you know. Dave Edwards, he was a singer in there. Grover cut him. And Joni James was his cousin. She was a well-known singer, you know. And Angelo Franco, this guy, he worked as a presser at Grover's. He brought Bobby Franco up to Grover's, and he sang. That's how Grover got to meet him. But Angelo was a crazy guy. He used to get his bills in the mail. He said, let's see, file that in a waste paper can. He threw an electric bill. That's the water bin. We don't need the water bill. He put a trash can. Yeah, he was funny, you know. Getting to the Teen Kings, that's the rarest black group probably in the world.
From Reading?
Yeah, Grover had them. They're in the top 50, I would say, of the rarest records ever recorded. And if you hear the record, you'll agree with me. It's a young kid. He's 14 years old on the record. There's not much music in the background, but this kid, he's so smooth. You ought to hear him. I'm telling you, it's good. I think they're all dead in the group now. It's a shame, but that's the way it goes. And B label had a couple labels that were subsidiaries of B label.
Okay.
One was the Wasp label, and another one was Sundance. And Sundance had a group on that, the Genos. They were from Reading, and that was a Bobby Polachek, Kenny Schott, and Gene Bushanowski and they sang with the Genos. They only had one record that's worth about $150.
Oh, wow.
Slim Little Annie.
Neat.
That's what that was called. One of my favorite groups, the Honeybees. They had a song called "Kiss Me, My Love," and all black group, you know. Lala Beckham, he had one leg. He was in Korea and he got the leg shot off.
Wow.
And I can remember him coming up the steps at Grover's with the one leg, you know, and he'd hop up the steps. He had a hat on with curled up, you know, Lucky Strikes folded up in his sleeve, you know. They were cool guys, you know. And Vic Johnson, who's a good friend of mine, he sang with the Honeybees, and his brother Skippy, he sang with him, and Charles Jackson. I don't know what happened with Charles. He disappeared or something, went to New York or something. Nobody heard from him for a long time. But Vic Johnson, I just took him and Bobby Newton from Reading up to the record show in Lancaster. I belonged to that club there. And they gave me and Bobby Newton and Vic Johnson and Bobby Rohrbach, another guy I sang with. They gave us an award, you know, certificate. It was nice, you know. I'm glad that Bobby Newton got it because he deserved it. I thought he was the best guy came out of Reading. He's a good entertainer. And plus, he got the voice. I think he's 85 years old. And he could sing yet like a 40
He's
years.
still performing.
Oh, my God, you should hear him yet. It's good. He don't hit flat notes or nothing. He's got a good voice. Another guy used to come to Grover's, and Grover cut a record with him, was Laddie Daddy. That was the name of it. Bunny Ziegler. Bunny Ziegler was a popular guy in the Philadelphia area. He was well known. He sang in the Miller Center one time. He came in here, and he passed away too about a year ago, I guess it was. But he had a good voice. He could sing like opera, you know, black guy, you know. But he had another record out, not on B label, but another label. I think it was Cameo label. Let the Good Times Roll. If you heard it, you remember it. You'd have to remember that. It was a good song, you know. And Chuck Colbert, another black guy. He had a record with Grover, Land of a Thousand Dances, and another one, Money. He did that one too. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And those were all local folks.
Oh yeah.
That's really incredible.
Well, the guy, our bass singer with our group, with the Termites and Victors, that's a doo-wop group I was with. They had a big record. He was with another group, the Silhouettes. They were from Philly, and they had this record. It was such a hit that I was driving down Penn Street, and I turned on my radio. Every station, that song was on every station. It hit that big, you know what I mean? You couldn't believe it. I turned a station, I heard it. I turned another one, heard it. Another one, I heard it. That's how big of a song it was. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Plus, he sang on another record. I can't remember what the name of that was, but that'll come to me. Oh, Joe Hammond. He sang with Grover's groups. You know, he's a black guy from Texas. He used to do shows in the early '50s with Johnny Ace. Johnny Ace was a big star. He had a hit record, "Forever My Darling, Our Love Will Be True." It was a killer song. He killed himself. He shot himself. Yeah. But that was he used to open up for him.
Oh.
Hammond did. Yeah.
What do you remember about the recording studio?
Well, the one place was on, I think was North 11th Street. It was in a guy's living room. Cliff Juranis. And he had real thick glasses, real thick like that. But he was good, you know. He knew what he was doing. He had good equipment and everything. And Grover knew him. And he set us all up in there. Then we came in, just sat down in front of the mic. He balanced everything out. And yeah. I have a picture. I should have brought that along. Maybe I got it in there. I don't know. We were in the studio, and they took it in the studio, you know.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Were there many studios in Reading at that time, or is it just the two?
Lorraine Studios, that was in the 400 block of Schuylkill Avenue, right down the street.
Oh, okay.
2 blocks down. And Pat Ferrara ran that. And that's where we cut I'll Always Care for You with the Invictors. We cut that in there. And Carrie Lou, we cut that in there too. It was a pretty good studio. And I think Barry cut one in there too. You'd have to ask him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Well, he cut one in there with the Pretenders, singing the background. By the way, that was a good song. That almost made it. That one with Barry. They were playing that in California and all over the place. Yeah. It made the charts. It was on the charts. Top 100, you know, I don't know what listed at, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of talent in Berks County.
Oh, you couldn't believe it. You know who I thought was the most talented person that came out of Berks County? Without a doubt, Billy Bowers.
Oh.
Nobody could play a saxophone like that guy, I'm telling you. He was gifted. I have a picture at home of him. He was about 6 years old, and his dad bought him a saxophone, and he's there like that with that.
That's really neat.
I just seen him. He came up from Florida, but he was so good you couldn't believe him. He used to play. He could play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, a 15-minute version with just the sax. He'd have it crying till it was done. That's how good it was. I never seen nothing like that. He had talent. That was in him, you know.
Yeah.
From little on up. Yeah.
So you played for many years. How long was your career as a musician?
Well, I'm still playing, you know.
Oh, you are?
At home. I write
Wonderful.
songs. I write a lot of songs, you know. I play piano too. And I played harmonica when I was little. I still play harmonica, the blues on harmonica, you know. I can't do it too good because my mouth is sort of paralyzed over there, but I can still play it. And I played a little bit of violin, and I could play the bass, and a little bit of mandolin, and I played the piano too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lots of variety.
Yeah. You can't take credit for it, you know, when you got, it's in you, you know.
Sure. Yep, I understand that. I didn't have the musical gift myself.
Did you have?
No.
Like, as people ask me, how do you play the piano? You don't read music. You didn't have any lessons. I don't know. Sit down and do it.
Yeah, some people just have it.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. It's funny, you know. I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's neat.
We had 3 buddies that we used to sit up at the flea market and sell violins. And we all started together. We're all going to learn how to play the violin. The other 2 guys, they couldn't learn. I was getting songs out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, you just had a natural talent
for
for
a
it.
natural feeling for it, you know. Old Schwartz, he's a buddy of mine from Lancaster.
Wow.
Yeah, he used to be president of the Record Collectors Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not that album though. That's,
No,
yeah, that's
this
just
is
Don
all
Ellis and-
Don Ellis. He was from Indiana.
Okay.
Well, you know, one night we were playing Scipione's Hideaway in Myerstown, and we left the job, and I was married then. I got married really young, you know, and like 17.
Wow, that's really
And,
young.
that's another story, ain't it? But Sonny Muccio and Bill Bowers, they're going to run me home. But Sonny was a big fat guy, you know, and he was a jokester. He said, "We'll take you home then. We're going to go to Indiana first." We went and we picked Don Ellis up. That's where he got Don Ellis.
Wow.
He was a rockabilly singer out there. We heard a record by him, and we made the connections. A grower said, "Go pick this guy up." So we went out and got him in a snowstorm. So nonstop to Indiana, picked him up and drove nonstop back. Oh, that was something. But we hit it off right away. You had to like the guy. He was a good old boy, you know. Indiana, come from right next to the Kentucky border, New Albany, Indiana. He was a good old boy. Everybody on his block played the guitar, he said. Yeah. And if you ever heard, he made 2 records out in Indiana on a Goldenrod label. If you ever heard them, I'm telling you, you talk about a rockabilly. They are so good. They're in the book for $1,000, you know, in the Record Collector's Guide. 2 records. One was Rock and Roll, Mr. Moon, and the other one was Baby, Let Me Fan Your Flame. And I like Baby, Let Me Fan Your Flame. He stopped, and then he got a walking bass, and he got a boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? A walking bass. Yeah. And then it starts up again, you know. You got to come up sometime. I'll leave it here. I got a copy of it, not the original. I don't have the original. I'm trying to find the original. Can't find them. But I got some guy. He had an original copy, and he duped it. So we would have the sound, you know. And that's what I got. I got a copy. I have to live with that temporarily, you know. But that's good. It's a good song. Not everybody likes that kind of stuff, but I think it's neat, you know, rockabilly.
Sure.
You know, that only came about 4 years it was in. It came in and it went out, you know, that type of music. Like if I go to a music store and I start playing it on the guitar, young kids come up and they go, "What is that? I like that." They like the sound, you know, because you got to use your thumb on it, and you play the melody with these fingers and the bass with the thumb, you know. Not everybody can do that, you know. That's like doing this thing, you know. They can't do it, you know.
Sure.
I know good guitar players, they can't do that.
Do you have other things you want to share before we...
I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's a Pretenders.
I've seen this picture before.
Yeah, Sam probably brought one in.
So that's Sam there.
Yeah, that's me there. And this was the Royal Dukes. We started off. There's Sonny Muccio. He's the guy that kidnapped me.
Oh.
He was a devil. Can you see it?
Yeah.
And here's then Victor. The same group was a Termites. They're the same thing.
That's neat.
And my brother Gene, was a good-looking guy, you know. He was a lead singer on that. This guy here. And this guy was Ray Edwards. He sang. He was a bass guy on Get a Job. We found him on Walnut Street. He was living on Walnut Street. But one night, me and Grover and somebody else, I don't know who it was, we went to this black bar. We were trying to find singers. So we went in, and Grover said, "Anybody in here sing?" Everybody sang. And one guy said, "Ray Edwards, he was on a hit record one time. Here he was in the bar. They were shooting pool and they were drunk, you know." Said, "Come on up." We took him up right then, and him and Barry Boswell. This was Barry Boswell. And this is Bobby Rohrbach. We picked him up at the bus stop. He was a lot younger than us, but he was singing. We said, "Come on in here. We like the way you sing."
Wow.
And he had a nice baritone voice, so he fit in good, you know. But the bass guy, he was best you could imagine, you know, the best. Yeah, that was we had a pretty good group. That was a good group. Oh, that was in the studio. That's me there. That don't look ugly, does it? This guy just passed away, Stan Watinsky. He played with Bobby Newton, Bobby Newton's band. And there's Billy Bowers, just a kid, you know, back then.
Wow.
We're 17 years old, you know. And there's Amuccios. And this guy, he died too. He had leukemia or something, he died. That's the way it goes, you know. And Wilson Bohannic, that's his guitar. When he took the picture, they cut him out of the picture. I don't know. Sorry, Wilson. Have we got any more? Oh, here we are getting the award.
That was recently.
Yeah, Bobby Newton and Vic Johnson from the Honeybees, and Bill Yuhas, right in the middle. There I am at the piano, yeah. Look at all them pictures.
Oh, yeah. You have quite a collection of pictures there.
Oh, yeah. Get that.
I got a whole pile, you know. I met so many people, Bobby Rydell and Eddie Holman and all, you know, Hey There Lonely Girl. And Bobby Rydell, he's not too good now. He had a liver transplant or something, you know. Did I have any more? This is a nice picture. You see that?
Yeah.
That's the Royal Dukes. That's when we started. That might have been taken about 1960, I'd say. They took that on North 6th Street. There was a professional photographer there. I got to almost get it out, ain't it? And there's Sonny Muccio.
Aw.
Yeah. You got to watch your weight. You won't live long. That's what happened, you know. He was heavy. That's about there's a Phil Schwartz. That's my buddy from Lancaster County.
Okay.
He's the smartest guy I ever met, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And he put this out, me and him, 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it took us 8 years till we put the liner notes in here and stuff. We had to trace everybody down. I had to find them, interview them, until we got it all on here. See, this was nothing. We had that. We had to go to New Hampshire to have some of the recordings redone, you know. But these here, oh my God, all the groups, they're all in here, you know. Don Ellis.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, you know. And Phil, he's good at that. I would have been lost plenty of times. He's the only guy, you know, he could drive to New Hampshire without a map. I'm not kidding you. He knows his way around, you know. Well, that's all I got, I guess.
Thank you so much. That was really incredible history
Yeah.
that you shared with us.
I hope he's going to understand me.
Yeah, no, you did great. Thank you.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you, Alexis.